Cooking with me. So today I'm going to be trying to make fish cakes. I've done it once, I think. It didn't end well, so I thought I'm going to go again. To begin with, I'm going to take some potatoes that have been peeled and I'm going to chop them into relatively small chunks just so they cook quicker. And I'm going to stick them on to boil in some salted water. Potato for the fish cakes are in the pan and that is just slowly starting to boil. Then I've got some more potatoes and I'm literally just cutting them into like chips. And I'm going to fry these in small batches in the fryer. So I find that makes them go a bit more crispy sometimes, 9 times out of 10. With the fish, so I've got frozen fish. This is frozen for freshness, brilliant. 4 cod fillets, skinless and boneless. So I didn't know if to go for fresh or frozen, so I was in the shop like having a full-on debate. What am I going to go for? I went with frozen because I don't know really. I just thought I'll have one. So in here you get, I don't know how many you get. Decent size as well, isn't it? Quite impressed with that if I'm honest. I'm going to stick all of it in. So in there you get, I got 4 bits of cod. I don't really know how I meant to cook cod, so I'm just going to do it how I think. So who knows what's going to happen. This is going to be exciting, isn't it? So I'm sticking a dollop of butter. Will that help? I don't know, but it makes me feel better either way. And then it says it cooks in 26 minutes and oven cook. I'm going to stick it in the oven. And I'm going to cover it with some foil. And then the oven is already on, so it's ready and hot. Stick it in the oven and hope for the best, like majorly. So I'm like ahead of myself. I'm going to get my like batter bread mixture ready to go. So I'm like ready to go. So I'm going to start off with 3 eggs. 3 because I don't know. I just decided 3. That's what I'm going to go for. I cannot stick eggs. I say this every time I've got an egg near me, let alone in my hands. I can't even crack the thing. I've got it on my side, absolutely wonderful. I'm going to whisk this really, really fast with a fork, she says. I'm not very good at scrambling eggs. Because sometimes I do it, then I leave like a whole egg not even touched. Tell me how I manage it, because I genuinely have no idea. But just see it when I try and do scrambled egg, it is a scream. Some plain flour, just enough to coat. Again, I have no idea how many this is going to make. So I can leave it out so I can get more if I need more. Just, yeah, but I'm going to have to put that bag over there because, let's be honest, I'll probably whack it, then the kitchen will be covered in flour. Then today I'm going to be using panko breadcrumbs. I don't really know what the difference is between, dried white breadcrumbs. No idea. But I'm going to stick in the whole packet just to make my life easier. This is going to go into my bowl. Right, I've drained my potatoes in the oldie thing, so they're complete cooked, complete soft. They're like edible, and they are slightly fluffy, but not really fluffy. I didn't want them really fluffy because I didn't want them to like go too far. Do you know what I mean? Into the potato, I'm going to stick in. I'm going to launch the lid first. A really important part of that. A dollop of buttery stuff, however much. You can always add more. I can never have too much for me. And with my masher, that is new, so he's top notch. I'm just gonna mash it and then sort of leave it and wait for me fish. I have to get my mussels out, which really don't exist. Then transfer my mashed potato into the bowl, mixing bowl. This bowl, I have no idea. Into there. I also added more potato. No, I didn't. I added more butter because I wasn't satisfied, to be honest with you. I'm going to get my Marmite on the case and I'm just going to make sure I don't leave any potato behind because I don't want to leave any behind. And I've also just checked on the fish and I've turned it over, so that is nearly done. Right, I have my fish. We have taken him out of the oven and it was, obviously I covered it with foil, then I took it out, poked it about a bit, flipped it over and then put the foil back on, put it back in the oven. Then I thought, no Megan, take it back out the oven, and I took the foil off for a couple of minutes. So it is easily breaking up. So I'm going to very carefully, without burning the mitts, stick my fish onto the plate and get rid of that. And I was like quite dubious, is it going to smell really fishy? And it doesn't, and I'm just quite happy with that, to be honest with you, because I don't like it when it's really fishy. Do you know what I mean? I've got rid of my tray, I've put that to soak because I would have been scrubbing that for a good week, wouldn't I? Then I've also got rid of any of the excess liquid coming off the fish, because I don't want that really wet and like damp, but I don't want it like dry. So I'm just literally just going to flake it with my fork, not into like tiny bits, but enough to like, so you've got a bit there, but also don't want boulders, do you know what I mean? I also just tried a little bit that flaked off, and it's really nice in my opinion. It's really not like fishy, do you know what I mean? Because you know you can get like fish and it's like really fishy, and that puts me off, but that's not, and I think it's really nice. I would happily get that fish again and just eat it like that. That's what it's like. It's very white as well, like I'm quite chuffed, I keep telling you, but I'm really happy with it. I'm going to stick that straight in. So I'm going to add my seasonings in now, so I'm not like overworking the fish, because I don't want it, like I say, too small. So I'm going to stick in a nice amount of pepper. Again, this is purely to taste, like I like some things quite salty, you might have noticed. And I'm also going to stick in some salt, some parsley and some chives. I mean, push that boat right out now. So I'm going to sprinkle in a bit of parsley to begin with. Also going to go in with some chives, again just a sprinkling of these. I might have to get the big owl out, I'm in business today. I've got that out of my way because I'd probably whack them and they'd go flying and I would be crying. Right, that is the bowl. I've just stuck a bit in. I'm going to very carefully like just mash this together, and if I feel it needs any more like seasonings, I'm going to add it in. I tend to cook by eye, and then I do roughly the same thing each time, but each time is also slightly different. Now the exciting bit, I'm going to try and make them. So I've got my mixture, flour, egg, breadcrumb, my tray lined with baking paper and some of that, because I really don't want it to stick, because I've put a lot of thought into this. So I'm going to start by taking however much of the mixture, and it's still warm, but it's like I can touch it, you know. So I'm going to flatten it circular-ish. It hasn't got to be perfect. Homemade is brilliant anyway. Then that is what I'm left with. So it's going to go into the flour, so there is a nice coating on it, all around the edges. They might end up square, but it'll be fine. And then it's going to go into the egg, like that. And then in, can you see? Yeah. Into the panko, a bread, a crumb. I'm going to go daring it. I'm going to try and do 2 coats of the breadcrumb. I have got more breadcrumb out back just in case I need it. But I'm thinking I want a nice coating on here. That is my fish cake going straight onto me. Can you see? I'll put it so you can see. Straight onto me tray. I've managed to make 11. I'm well happy. They're all different shapes and sizes, but I think that's the fun of home cooking, because it doesn't matter, because you've done it and like you've put the time and effort, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. Right, I'm going to get these into the oven. I don't know how long for, but I'm going to keep an eye and just hope that these stay in that shape. Right, now I'm going to get some peas into the saucepan, because I love a pea. I don't know how many. I'm just going to stick them in the pot and hope for the best. I'm going to put in some salt and some sugar into the water to get rid of any potential bitterness, if there is any bitterness in the peas. And then also to go with it, because would that be enough? Like 3 things? Absolutely not. I'm going to have some flatbreads. So these are cheese and tomato flatbreads, and it is topped with a rich tomato sauce. Of that one. And then this is garlic and parsley flatbread. So I thought, that this might go quite well with the fish cakes, because it's like something a bit different and not like the same all the time, is it? So then that is what that one looks like. And these are going to go into the oven a little bit in a minute. I've just taken them out of the oven. What do you think? I think they are looking absolutely brilliant. Right, to begin with, I've got me peas. Now these were cooked in some salt and some sugar. I stick sugar in it just in case there's any bitterness. It gets rid of it. I just got a sweet tooth, so if I can get sweet things into it, I'm gonna do it. And then I've got some homemade chips. So these were just potatoes, and I peeled them and I chopped them into chip shapes, and I fried them in the fryer in small batches, like taking them in, taking them out, and that's how I find I get them like a bit crispy. That's just how I like them in my opinion. And then I've got to get the fish cakes. Then I've got my homemade fish cakes. So this is what they look like up close. I'm very, very proud of them. So in there it's some potato, so it's boiled and I mashed. Then some cod fillets, I think that's what they're called anyway. Then I breadcrumbed them. No, I didn't. I egged them, floured them, egged them, panko breadcrumbs. I've got some chives in there, and I've got some parsley, a bit of salt and pepper. I just bunged it, a bit of all of it in. Here is the flatbread. So that was a cheese and tomato one, and this is just also a plain garlic one. I will have more than that. And then for some sauces, I couldn't make my mind up, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to have a bit of each. But that is my absolutely brilliant dinner this evening. What is everybody else having? Thank you so much for watching my video. If you've got any suggestions on what you want me to make, please do let me know. But that was my attempt at some fish cakes.